Okay, I hope this is recording. Hi everyone, long time no see, so let's talk about it. First of all, I have to say that I missed talking about books because I have not only taken a break from YouTube but also from Instagram, since I kind of fell into a reading slump, which then led to a creative slump. As you may know, my Bookstagram is all about creating a seasonal feed, and that means combining books and nature and capturing the magic of that specific season we are in. And the problem that I had this winter was, well, there was no snow. It only snowed once, but it was barely anything. It didn't really settle. So I was at a loss of what to do because I think I'm still hung up on my last year's winter feed, which I think it was perfection. And I kept trying to chase that high ever since, and I just couldn't. Now for YouTube, I'm back, but I will change some things about it, especially my attitude towards this channel. Because I kind of wanted, since I started, to post every Friday, everything to be very, very, very curated and just come with new, fresh ideas every single week, which is impossible. That just led to burnout. So that's why I took such a long break, because I didn't know what to post. And I was trying to get the perfect footage, the perfect editing. Everything had to be perfect, curated. And that's just not possible when you're filming on the phone, trying to edit on the phone. And also, I'm still trying to become more confident speaking in front of a camera and looking at the camera. Sometimes I still look at myself. So, basically, I will strive for less perfect but consistent. And I hope I'm gonna stick to it. Please hold me accountable if I don't. I also realized that by cutting a lot of my ramblings, I kind of removed a bit from my personality, and I would like to let that shine through a lot more this year. So I'm going to allow some ums and just me trying to find the right words to express something. And I just want it to be more like a comfort creator type of vibe, because I realize my favorite creators are those that just talk on and it's not like perfectly curated. That's what I'm trying to achieve. I hope that I can become your comfort creator in 2025. Now that I've gotten all of that off my chest, let's move on to my reading goals for 2025. To start, I read 75 books in 2024, which is a decent number, don't get me wrong, but it was a struggle to reach it. I actually had to read like 5 volumes of the Webtoon True Beauty in the last day of the year to reach that goal. But I decided after a lot of consideration that this year I'm going to challenge myself even more. I don't know why I do that, because what are the chances I'm actually going to do more when I struggle with 75 books, but I'll do it. Do you see this book right here? I actually recently got it from Hobbycraft because I want to have an easier way of accessing my TBR, and this is quite nice, if I say so myself. Because before that, my books were just laying on piles on the ground or in boxes, since I don't have a bookshelf yet, like a proper one. I wanted to get one of those IKEA Billy bookcases, but I thought I don't have enough books to actually fill it up, and it didn't really seem worth it, since I just recently moved to the UK last May, and I wanted to gather a couple of books before I actually get one. And the thing is, while I was arranging this, I decided, what if I count all the books that I have gathered in less than a year, right? What if I count them? And the number is alarming. I didn't expect it to be so high. And if you're thinking of a number, make it higher. Just up it up. It's 147 books. I got in less than a year 147 books. The number is alarming, I know. So one of my goals for 2025 is actually to tackle that number and reduce it at least by half, because I know I'm just not going to stop getting books. They were right when they said that buying books and actually reading the books are two different hobbies, because now we're going to talk about how many of those 157 books I have actually read, and I'll let you take a guess again, but please lower that guess down and down again and one more time, because I've only read 26 books out of 147, which, wow, I really need to do something about it. And I also kind of need to stop letting myself be influenced by popular titles I see on Bookstagram. I think I actually need to read the blurb first before getting them, because I got so many because of their popularity and I ended up not enjoying them. Also, I got books based on their cover and then I ended up not enjoying them. And that kind of reflected the fact that last year, out of 75 books that I have read, my overall rating was 3.2 stars, which is very low. Might explain my recurring reading slumps throughout the year. So I want to actually, after I tackle this, to just be more mindful about the books I get. For 2025, I have decided that my reading goal is going to be 120 books. And that's a number that's crazy high, I know, considering I struggle with 75. But hear me out. 120 books is about 10 books a month, which I think I can do because most of the books that I actually own are quite small and around 300 pages or less. I even have less than that, like this. So I think it's quite doable. And in case I do not reach that number, I actually set a secondary goal, which are pages. Last year I set a goal of reading 10,000 pages, and I did that. I read 23,000 pages. So this year I just upped that goal to 40,000 pages. And I have to say, if you don't have a pages goal yet, I recommend it because it's way more satisfying than a book goal, since it fills up way faster and actually motivates you to read more. So that's what I'm going to do. Another resolution of mine is to keep on reading from multiple genres. Since last year, I actually started reading historical fiction, a genre I have never dived in before that, and I enjoy it. I've read some of my 5-star reads from it, and one of them is The Silence in Between. I raved about this book at the beginning of last year. It's very good. Please read it. It's amazing. And I just want to kind of get more into reading nonfiction. I used to read it a lot a couple of years ago, and I just kind of stopped. I also need to read more thrillers. I feel I'm not reading that much from these two genres, so I'm going to change that. Any recommendations are welcomed. You might remember that I got a library card a couple of months back, and I have to say I did use it a lot, and I want to keep on doing that in 2025. And I actually want to make use of the audiobooks that they own and actually listen a lot more to audiobooks, because I find them so relaxing while I'm doing my arts and crafts, my little cross stitching or like coloring hobbies, and listen to them. It's so satisfying because especially the romance ones are very entertaining. I don't think I would be able to actually multitask with a fantasy book, but romance I can do. And speaking of the library, I actually discovered one of my favorite reads last year using the library, and it was Assistant to the Villain. The thing is with popular books, I'm not sure if I'm going to like them. It's mostly a hit or miss. So I decided from now on, if there's a popular book I'm not sure I'm going to like, I'm just going to get it to the library, read the list, a couple of pages from it, or read the entirety of it if I'm really into it, and then get my own physical copy, which I did. I did get a physical copy of Assistant to the Villain. It's so good, and I cannot wait to read the next book, which is Apprentice to the Villain, I think. I'm just so excited to see more of the characters. One big item on my wishlist is actually getting a Kindle, but I will not be getting one unless I read half of what I own. If I don't do that, no Kindle. So that's kind of like an extra motivator for me, because I know as soon as I get one, it's game over. I'm just going to be me, my Kindle against the world and against my physical TBR. By the way, if you have any recommendation on what Kindle to get, please let me know, because I keep seeing mixed reviews about all of them, and I'm not quite sure which one to go for. Finally, my last resolution for this year is to actually be more consistent in tracking my reading and updating my story graph regularly, because I feel sometimes I get so lazy and I don't do it, or if I do it, I just put like the star rating, and I would like to actually leave like a little bit of a review of what I thought about the book. So in case, someone asks, oh, have you read this one? I actually can look back and see my thoughts on it, because sometimes I don't remember. I remember the vibe, but I don't remember anything about a book. So I like to be more consistent with that, and also be more consistent with uploading like a monthly wrap up, either here on YouTube or on Instagram. But I like that. I like to look back at the months and how much I've read in that specific month, and my favorites, my least favorites. So I want to be more consistent. I think the goal, actually the overarching goal for 2025 for me, is just be consistent, because I'm not, and I need to change that. Plus, by sharing the books that I have read, I spark conversation, and I love to talk to you guys about the books and what you thought about it, because I saw so many like contradictory opinions on some of my favorite books or some of the books I didn't like, and I just love those conversations. Thank you so much for listening to all of this rambling and mess. I don't think this video is very coordinated, but I hope it made sense, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm actually very curious what has been your first book that you've read this year, because for me, I actually did not finish reading my first book of the year yet. I'm in the process of doing so, and it's Love's Work by Gillian Rose. And I have to say that I'm not sure if this book is right up my alley specifically. I'm enjoying it. There's some parts that I find very, very sad, and that's why I'm taking my time with it, even though this book is quite short, as you can tell. But probably I'll finish it in the next couple of days. And then I think I should start with something more fun. Like, in my mind, I keep wanting to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to read that one soon. Also, I'm going to insert some clips of my book cart right now. And if there's any books on it that you also want to read and you like to read them with me, please, I'm down. I need motivation to actually tackle this whole card. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!